Narcissistic abuse can leave you shattered. It will literally leave you in a state where you are feeling abandoned, in excruciating pain, and you will feel like it was your fault, as if you are to be blamed and you have some fault why you went through what you went through. But it is not about you. It's about the narcissist who went on making you feel terrible. They went on doubting you, questioning you, making you doubt your own self worth. Then they called you crazy, and then they confused you. And then you were in a state wondering that was it your fault? Are you crazy? Hello and welcome to Quantum Dynamic 8 Recreating Life and Living. I'm Tirashri, and in this video, we are going to talk about how to master your emotions, energetic thoughts after narcissistic abuse. What almost nobody talks about, but today I'm going to talk about, is how narcissistic abuse affects your energetics. I have observed this time and again with my experience, where I was the one who was getting abused. And I grew up in a family which was highly dysfunctional. My father was physically, emotionally, verbally abusive towards me and my mom. And having to be in that situation, of course, it was chaotic. And because I was lined up with that vibration, I naturally would attract bullies. I would later attract dysfunctional relationships. And those were my areas of learning. Life was the best teacher that I've ever had, and life taught me time and again with first hand experiences what narcissistic abuse really is. There was a time when it took me a while to recognize a narcissist, but now it takes me some seconds to recognize a narcissist when they are exhibiting their narcissistic tendencies. So, if you are going through narcissistic abuse, trust me, you're not alone. And if you are empowered, if you're someone who's really sorted in their life, you're the one who gives advice to people. And you're wondering that how did I get trapped in that? Well, narcissists target the most empowered and strong individuals because breaking down a strong individual gives them a sense of satisfaction, and they are that gruesome. So, talking about to what extent a narcissist can go down to, let me just share with you something that I have observed along in my own journey. Whenever you are in presence of a narcissist, you will feel like your energy is being depleted. They're saying something, they are doing something, they're making you feel a certain way, which is ultimately draining your energy, and you feel like something is being taken from you. You feel energetically drained, and they literally can sense somehow, and that is their superpower. And if they were to use that superpower in a good way, they could have literally, sensed something and been kind also towards those aspects. But whenever they sense something which are your trigger points, they can literally intuitively or somehow get in guidance to what to really trigger you with. And literally, when you get triggered, the haphazard energy field that you are in, your quantum field literally gets haphazard. Your core energy is filled with cortisol and adrenaline rush. And in that state, your core energy is leaking out energy because your amygdala is shaking in fear and shame. And in that internalized shame, you literally shut down and freeze. And that's when they start to suck energy out of you. And that is why they can dysregulate your nervous system in a second. It is dangerous. And that's why you literally feel like you don't feel good enough when they're rejecting you. You don't feel good enough when they are not being there for you, because they read you enough and they read you well to tell you things and make you feel a certain way that you start to doubt yourself. They push you towards self doubt. So naturally, you're going to question that, am I good enough? Am I good looking enough? You may want to stop putting makeup. You may want to stop showing up for yourself. It happened to me in the past. And you may even want to not literally have that motivation to show up for life, because there are a lot of aspects in you that are drained, and anger and rage. All the emotions literally are energy pocket points where they are storing energy. At the core level, we are all energy, and wherever your energy flows, attention goes, the energy will solidify and become a superpositional state. And that superpositional state is constantly playing out in the quantum realm as well as in the physical realm, as above, so below, as within, so without. The quantum realm is just the energetics realm, and the energetics are affecting your thoughts, emotions, organs, and furthermore, you are shaking in that fear, and your hippocampus is constantly recalling the thoughts that are associated to the different organs that are getting triggered. So, if your solar plexus is getting triggered, you're feeling a punch in your stomach as if your energy is leaking from your stomach. All the energy, all the memories that solar plexus is storing is actually stored in your hippocampus, where your memories are stored. So your hippocampus, in association to your solar plexus, is recalling certain memories, is recalling certain associations and awareness. And those memories, since they have trigger points and association to your solar plexus, are literally causing a shaking sensation in your solar plexus. Likewise, for every chakra, sacral chakra has memories stored, your root chakra has memories stored, and all these are points or energy trigger points where your energy memory association, placebos and nocebos, have been created, which are furthermore interlinked to your hippocampus, which are storing your further memories. So, the moment you are getting into a zone where you are getting triggered by what's happening, how the narcissist is making you feel, a lot of your body parts start to react, a lot of your memories start to show up. Your body literally starts to reveal the different aspects of your memory association, and you get into a zone of shutdown because your amygdala is feeling like it's happening here and now. Literally, your HPA axis needs to come back to balance. You need to literally get into a state of zone of stability and safety. Your body is craving for safety at that point. And this is why you cannot heal in the same environment where you got abused. The narcissist does not change. The narcissist does not want to go within and look into their issues and wounds and triggers and shame and face it, because the narcissist will always blame another person because they cannot really go within and face what they have done. And if you are holding on to, I'm going to change the narcissist, I'm going to fix the narcissist, I'm going to change how they think, what you are missing out on is that everyone is you pushed out. So the energy you are pouring to change them and fix them, that's the energy you're taking from yourself to do that. And you're giving them the energy at the end of the day by depleting yourself and feeling horrible that, okay, if I can't change this person, then I'm not good enough. This is very common in trauma bonding. You start to get into a zone where, depending on how they're responding, especially if the narcissist discards you and does not come back, which is most of the cases, the narcissists who hoover you and are after you, who are attacking you, mostly are happening in marriages or with your family members. But most of the relationships these days with narcissists are like situationships that just end up in ghosting, and they just discard you and go away, and then you're chasing and writing to them 100 mails and messages, and they're not responding, then they have blocked you. And the energy you pour in them in that process, the chasing you do, that literally gives them a boost. And sometimes one or two times a narcissist can come back and conform to you, and you may feel like, wow, this person is going to come back, and you poured your heart to it. And this is what happens with false twin flame dynamics. This is what happens with narcissistic trauma bonding dynamics, where you're literally pouring your heart to just fix that person and change that person. And this is almost everyone in the SP manifestation journey. And you literally make your life all about that person. And having to make your life all about that person, you get so depleted that you cannot think of anything but how they see you, because you're always tapped in and tuned into their way of perceiving you. What are they saying? What are they doing? And this is the same with people going through workplace trauma as well. There are colleagues who are narcissistic. People get bullied in workplace. I'm getting bullied don't end in school. It continues even in your workplace, and that's horrible. But having to deal with so many clients who I hear stories from, I have been left bewildered to see that, oh my God. And of course, I am aware of spiritual warfare and the spiritual industry trauma and the subconscious bullying vibes. So, with that being said, the bullying vibes, the narcissistic energy vibes, does not just confine to your relationships, it goes beyond. And when it goes beyond, it has more effect on you. Like, if you consider the idea of black magic, or the idea of casting spell on someone to affect that person, that's also a form of narcissistic abuse with energetics. For a person to attack you and energetically even think of revenge in a terrible way requires that person to come from a state of sociopathic, psychopathic awareness, where the person's main agenda is to deplete you, and that's how the person is getting to suck in energy and feel power. And that's exactly how spiritual narcissism energetically looks like. So whenever you are going through a situation like that, it's natural you're going to feel a lot of anger, wrath, fury, like how is it so unfair and all of that. And that rage, that enraged state, is going to put you in a lot of cortisol, making you feel like you want to shut down. You will need temporary dopamine rush, but then you'll again go back to feeling horrible again and again, as if you are in a perpetual loop which is never ending. And the way out is to realize that there's nothing outside of you, not even your SP, who is supposed to get energy on the outside to really manifest your SP in a very Neville Goddard way, is to realize that everyone is you pushed out, so there's nothing outside of you. So, to call back your energy and change your thoughts and emotions, it all happens through calling back your energy. And to call back your energy is to realize that the sensation where you're feeling horrible in your heart space, where you're feeling hurt, wounded, that getting that person you'll feel good, or when these people start to see you in a certain way, you will feel good. When they make you feel better, you'll feel good. You need to realize that if a person is jealous of you, if a person hates you, of course the person would continue to be that way and would not want you to feel good. So, trying to wait for the person to not hate you, to love you, and be kind to you, you are living outside to inside. Like, I need to fix this person energetically, but that's not how actually law of attraction works. So, you need to go within in your heart space. You need to go within in your body and check in with your body, check in with your different organs, check in with every part of your body. And as you touch every corner of your body, there's an association your hippocampus is having, and it will recall that memory. When you're recalling that memory, just sit with that emotion. It will tremble, it will like trigger, but through that trigger, just love that trigger. And if you can't do it yourself, follow along with the video. I'm going to be showing you, or I'm going to be helping you to just sit with the emotion. So you can just come back to the video, click here, and play along with it. So going to your heart space, wherever you're shaking and wherever you're in pain, going and loving that place. Wherever there are more triggers coming up, more inner dance, you're furthermore loving that dance. Wherever you're feeling suffocated, we're furthermore loving that. And as you're loving those aspects of you, those core energetics where you're storing anger and pain, they are shattering apart as we observe them with love and shift the cortisol in them to endorphins and oxytocin and serotonin. And as you're continuing to love you there, wherever you are feeling suffocated, angry, and you want to break apart, but you're unable to break apart because you feel caged and not good enough. You're loving all those points. As you allow all those points to percolate in love, you are consciously understanding that these are excess of cortisol, which are changing in their molecular dynamics as you let in this love on a cellular, molecular, and energetic level. And as this love is percolating through each strand of you, it's starting to reprogram your DNA, reprogram the stories you have in your hippocampus. And wherever you feel like, I cannot see myself as the empowered one because the narcissist saw me as that. So I'm going to continue to see myself in this way because I'm angry. They have to see me this way. Otherwise, I'll not let this feeling go. We're loving those parts of you. And as you're allowing yourself to percolate in this love and receive more of this love, your core momentum is receiving the breakthrough frequency now. And you are able to jump from that excess of cortisol to a state of feeling a little more ease. And wherever there are still parts of you that are feeling suffocated, you're allowing yourself to receive more love. You can see lions biting away all the hardcore shells of cortisol in you. You can feel like there's a lion in you that's coming up to literally bite those cortisol points. Literally, there is a warrior in you who's rising with all the strength and power, like Durgama, and is breaking apart every chain, everything in the way, rising your inner Ma Kali, and in fury and in rage is moving apart every chain, everything that's in the way. And you can feel her bigness. You can feel her connectedness to all that is. And you are merging in oneness with her. You are merging in strength with her. You are her. You are becoming your inner strong goddess. You're becoming your inner strong Earthanarishwar energy, where your half feminine, half masculine energy is rising in strength, and you are now literally in your strong warrior energy rising. And you can feel that you are strong, you are powerful, you are feeling the strength, and you are being able to break apart everything that's in the way. And you are releasing all the energy that is feeling like a clog, and you're biting them apart, crushing them apart, loving them and pushing them so you can rise past all of them, and with all the vigor, with all the non-amplifying energy, you are now in the energy and zeal of life. You are showing up. You are now breaking apart all the barricades of being in that energy of being in your old self, and you're coming out of the shell, literally moving part, even if it feels uncomfortable, and you are experiencing this quantum jump at the core, and you have shifted to a new vortex now where everything has worked out for you, and you are experiencing a phenomenal core shift, and everything is working out for you, and you're feeling the vigor, you're feeling the strength, you're feeling that inner power within, where as if your energetics are literally moving in a state of alignment, vigor, and power, and everything in the way. You're bringing in more vigor and power to break it apart because you desire to live, you desire to have hope, and nothing in your way can stop you. No relationship, nothing defines you. You're defined by your inner power, you're defined by your inner spirit, you're defined by your inner strength, and you are powerful, you are magical, you are strong, you are breaking apart everything in the way to now transcend everything, to now burst through all the conjoined layers of suffering. And now you are experiencing this core shift and breakthrough. And so it is. Thus it shall be. Amen. So, this is one way you can actually shift your energetics and go deep within and push forward anything in the way without bypassing them, and actually transmuting all the cortisols to endorphins and serotonin. You can move away from that energy of being plugged into suffering. And through this, you're actually breaking your core gluon and plasma of energetics. So, core gluon, plasma, quark energetics are actually massless, they have the energy through observation. So, as those energetics, the tight fittedness heals and is heated up with love and warmth energy. The energy is like literally loosening its grip in the excess of cortisol, and you are feeling more lubricated, easefulness, energy, and you can like release the conjoined cortisols. And it's in different superpositions. There are excess of cortisol joined, like each thought is a state of sensation of molecular cortisol, which feels tight fitted. As you focus there with love and just crush apart everything that's in the way, naturally your thoughts and emotions also start to shift, because when there's excess of cortisol, there's excess of beta waves in your body, naturally you're going to have anxious thoughts. When you're just breaking past the cortisol energy, the excess of energy that's stored, you're actually healing your subconscious, unconscious, or theta or delta wave simultaneously, and you're just pushing past those and moving past those and literally switching to alpha, where you're flowing in the state of I am strong, I am powerful, and I am one with my spiritual, quantum, emotional, and different aspects and fields. And through all of that, I'm breaking apart, and now I am rising past all that is. This is one way. Another way is, of course, to tap into those sensations and understanding which memory it's coming from, and having to realize the emotional for energy for the most stored there, going to that energy of memory, now breaking the patterns in that memory very specifically, and realizing whatever is triggering you, whatever emotions are coming up, understanding what is beneath those layers, and then pushing through them. So I'll be giving you an example here. So let's say you are feeling ashamed. So going deeper there, you may have this feeling from how they have always made you feel in childhood or in your marriage or both. And being aware of that is furthermore making you shake in a part of you. So going and loving that part of your amygdala. So it may give you another memory of you don't have the right to feel good, because whenever you try to feel good or positive, they have made you feel worse and they've tortured you more. So you have felt more paranoid. So you're ashamed to feel good, going and loving that part. Realizing that you're carrying this toxic shame from how they have made you feel, how they have tortured you, how they have put you through all of these wounds. And that's making you feel heavy, that's making you feel wounded. So, as you're loving those parts that are wounded and angry, you're furthermore realizing that you didn't have to go through any of that, but you went through, and you're more angry with yourself that why do you put yourself through all of that, and why can't you just stop loving the narcissist and move on? It's going and loving that part. Wherever you're enraged that why can't things just shift for you, and why do you have to be in this zone again and again? Going and loving all those awarenesses. The spec coming up is you're choking, you're suffering, you really can't take it anymore. So loving all of those aspects again. If you really want justice and a breakthrough, going and loving those parts. Really want to move part all of these, but you can't get over whatever you've been through. You've been through a lot. You should have deserved better. Going and loving all the parts that are storing those anger, releasing the excess of cortisol there and loving them. You really deserve justice and you should receive a breakthrough now. Enough is enough. Going and loving them furthermore. Wherever there's aspects of you really cannot gear up in the momentum to feel that core shift, going and loving them more. You finally are gearing up in the core shift, and you have the strength and power in you, and you're receiving the breakthrough you deserve. And the miracle has happened. So, here were two ways you can apply quantum integration to help yourself at home. And if you would like to reach out to me and receive my support in your path of healing, go ahead and contact me. In the description box below, you will find all the details. Thank you and love and light to you. And yes, the key to master your emotions, energetics, and thoughts after narcissistic abuse is a lot of self care. And apart from this, you can also write down your negative thoughts and change into positive thoughts, affirm positive affirmations, listen to a lot of subliminal and positive affirmation based videos, and continue to tell yourself that you are safe. It is safe to be you. You are allowed to live your own life. You don't have to feel ashamed and duty bounded to how another person wants you to feel, and you don't have to adhere to that, feeling like it is your duty to act that way out of kindness, because if you don't do that, the other person will feel bad, and it's your responsibility to make the other person feel good. And if you don't, your life depends on it. You're making a horrible mistake, and it affects your conscience and it makes you feel shaken. All these are trauma responses after narcissistic abuse. Another great way to heal from narcissistic abuse is to get aware of the different trauma symptoms, more aware of what narcissistic personality is all about, how it affects your emotions, what complex trauma or CPTSD does to your emotions, how your nervous system gets dysregulated, how you feel suffocated and choked, and what excess of cortisol can lead to in your body, what are the kind of thoughts and emotions coming up. And most human beings feel like they need to suppress their thoughts in their heart, because when they feel that anger and wrath and fury, they are feeling powerful, but it's actually constantly like putting your nervous system in fight and flight and shut down state, and you are feeling that excess of cortisol and suffocated within, and that's terrible for your health. So the more you let go of that anger and choose that I'm going to channel this energy to live my dream now, to fulfill my wishes, even if I don't feel the energy to live my dreams and do my hobbies, I'm going to force myself, because I'm going to give energy to what matters to me. That's going to transmute your energy eventually to what really matters to you, and you'll be pouring your energy to that. So, where energy goes, attention flows. So, you need to put your energy to what matters to you. And these were some of the ways of how you can change your thought, emotions, and energetics and move to the state of living your dream life. But it's a process, and the best way is to seek help. And if you want to follow the self-help path, there's no harm in it. There's absolutely, you can do that. Journal a lot, voice note out your emotions, write it down your emotions, like spend hours journaling. Even if you are working with a mentor, even then self-help has to be a part of your life as well, simultaneously, because this process of healing goes on 24 into 7. So whenever something is coming up, you really need to shift and go within and check in with what's really happening. And different situations will require different kind of techniques and ways to deal with them, depending on how much the trigger is overpowering you. And literally, it may manifest as anxiety, stress at first, and eventually it manifests as excess of rush of overthinking thoughts, feeling shut down, feeling like you're paranoid, feeling like someone is out there to get you. Literally, all it is happening is at the core of your heart space. the energy is literally shaking because your amygdala is shaking. That's why I'm saying the more you're aware of what's happening, you will feel less scared and you will be able to walk through the process more scientifically, more logically, and choose healing for the sake of your health and inner peace. Inner peace is not something that's spiritual or woo woo or something that gives you a tranquil state of richness. It's necessary for your body, it's necessary for you to live long, it's necessary for your health to be in a state of homeostasis. Every disease and everything has its beginning from stress, anxiety, and shutdown. Because when your nervous system is literally going through a shutdown state, your blood vessels are constricted, the blood flow is not unusual, your heartbeat is racing, it's naturally going to lead to other diseases. So, the way out of not letting that happen is to take care of yourself. Even to show up for your work, even to show up for your relationship, you need to come from a state of being aligned, happy, at ease, peace, to even apply law of attraction. So it all goes back there because homeostasis is the key, and your body needs stability and relaxation. Your body is a temple. You need to live before anything else. So choose to let go of the suppressed anger and wrath and fury and continue to choose that inner safety and apply the different techniques, seek help, and know that you're not alone. And this is a path to take you towards your dreams and give you the courage to live your dream and never play small again and never settle for less again. Because now you know that never to walk the path of narcissistic abuse again. So get more empowered, get more informed about the journey, and keep flowing. You got this.